Good evening. Bloody cold here, I can tell you. Hello, Scarlett. Old person like me. I was doing lots of work today and my shoulder's now telling me I probably shouldn't have done so much. Stretching up into the rafters, painting on the front of the new veranda. But I just kept going and going and going. Then I couldn't keep going anymore. Here comes the boss with a coffee. Thank you very much. I've got mine. Have you got yours? Scarlett said hello to you.
Hello, you.
I have mine too. You have a coffee. Excellent. It is 12 degrees, but it's been bitterly cold today.
Yes, like yesterday, to the bone.
Well, here we are saying 12 degrees is bitterly cold, and of course they'd say, what? Scarlett said, send me your Addy, Mystic.
I did in an
On
email.
my email, I need to send you your lavender hat.
I did send you an email a couple of weeks ago with the address, Scarlett.
Might have to check your junk file.
Mate, yeah, I did, honestly. Or the first time you asked me, I actually, the next day or day after, I did email it to you.
Made a cream of chicken and vegetable soup today, Scarlett, with lots of the veggies coming from the garden. Tastes yum, didn't it? I don't normally like creamed soup, but it's because I've made it tonight for our daughter's baby shower. And even though we've got lots of nibblies, you know, the sandwiches and sausage rolls and little pies and what else did you get?
Dips,
chips,
cabanossi.
there's heaps of finger food. Just thought because it's cool, and I've got these insulated disposable cups that people can have a nice hot cup of cream of chicken vegetable soup if they wish to. In Australia, one of the things that you get in winter all the time, you go to like the Greek hamburger places or the takeaway, the old type takeaway places, not the chain ones. And they'd always have something like pan ham or vegetable soup, or it was good, you know, you grab a sandwich and a cup of soup. But that sort of died out. You know, I would think if McDonald's had cups of soup, people would buy them in winter. Maybe I should phone the executive branch of McDonald's and say, give me $1 million and I'll make you 20. Nice hot cup of soup. Because on a cold day, you don't really want a can of Coke most of the time. easy enough to have a soup at McDonald's. Even if you just did something like chicken noodle or something, you know, the basic ones that people eat. Chicken noodle soup would be the first one, I think. I think $2 is a fair price.
Should I get ready? Is Tony lurking?
I'm not sure. Tony, are you clean? Have you been cleansed?
Yeah, I like your chicken soup, but otherwise my favourite is that potato.
What?
That potato, pumpkin, sweet potato, broad
Oh yeah,
bean soup.
I make a potato and
There he
pumpkin. Hello, Tony. Potato and pumpkin soup, quite thick, and I also put, when I finished mushing it with my potato masher, I put in a tin of butter beans. So it's got a bit of texture. You get the yummy soup plus a bit of butter bean. I don't think McDonald's will do that one. I started painting the front veranda, Tony. All the tin's not on, the roof's not on yet, so I could get in and do all bits and pieces. Hello, Dreamweaver. Yo, lamb shanks kind of go. I love lamb shanks. Definitely. So I was up there stretching, painting, got the first coat on today, and then I couldn't do any more because my shoulder was killing me because I'm getting old. That's all I can put it down to. The mind is still winning and the body's saying, what are you doing? What the are you doing?
Yeah, well, I can't get
What
up
does
there.
Scarlett make? She made spinach soup with beef shanks. Oh, yum. I put some of my own spinach in the soup, some of my thyme, some of my parsley, bits and pieces, carrots. You guys always seem to catch me at shower time. I think you're fibbing.
I think
I don't think you shower at all. I think you live in a cargo van and you're just telling this, you know, what's your idea of a shower? Is it a flannel with a cup of warm water? We like your body, Tony, says Scarlett. If you like my body and you think I'm sexy, come on over to
Come
Australia.
on, sugar, let me know.
Tony's wife will beat you down with a large feather duster. Yeah, so the soup I made is for my daughter's baby shower, along with heaps of nibblies.
My brother's
And I'm
gonna-
making up the curried egg sandwiches. They're Australian.
It's gonna-
Curried egg sandwiches.
That'll be funny.
Tony, stop laughing. Actually, no, actually it's one of those things. It is very Australian, isn't it, Dream, to have fairy bread?
Well,
But
I
there's-
was thinking of it because she loves fairy bread.
Well, there's 3 or 4 kids coming in there.
Yeah, plus she loves
Yeah,
it.
it takes nothing to make it up. Pavlova. No, there's so much food, nibble food,
Well,
that
no.
we're not. I think someone's bringing cakes, aren't they?
No, it's just the,
Oh, there is a cake.
yeah,
yeah.
That's the only dessert, so it gets eaten.
What is fairy bread? It is bread with butter on it and then sprinklings of hundreds of thousands.
Traditionally, it's made with white bread.
Yeah. Sort of a poor man's feast. I don't particularly like it. It's all sugar.
Oh, I used to love it as a kid. And take it to school, and it'd be sitting in your lunchbox till lunch, and the colours of the hundreds and thousands would run through the bread.
Yeah, it gets all streaky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I knew one kid at school used to have fairy bread with Vegemite and cheese.
Yeah.
He said it just added that a little extra crunch. He would put it on. His mum would make him just cheese and Vegemite. He'd open the other side and sprinkle.
Oh yes, did that too, Scarlett. Not anymore. My mum used to eat sugar cubes.
I suppose the truth is, I didn't see a lot of sugar when I was a kid. You know, we just had broths and stews and dumplings. And the only sugar, I suppose, and there's not much in them in steamed puddings, though there is some, because you've got jam in there as well, but not a lot of sugar. I think sugar was very expensive in the late 50s and early 60s, to be truth. A lot of the sugar in the UK is made by sugar beets. Still is today. Still the same thing, it's still sugar. So ladies, Tony's in the shower now. He's naked. The tap's on, probably cold shower, you know, it's probably thing he needs. And he's sitting there thinking, I wonder if the girls will be there when I get back.
Oh, it's a fight. If JP was in the room, it'd be a hard decision who to go to.
Might have to shave my beard off to look young again. I used to use a lot of molasses, probably in the 70s, but not so much. Oh, he hasn't got there yet. He's just waiting for the adulation. Hello, ladies, I'm still here. Stews are the best. I still cannot make it like my grandfather did. I make heaps of stews, Dream. Ever sticky bacon? Some of my stew videos, there's heaps of them.
Everybody's stew is different. Doesn't matter as long as it tastes good.
Stew for me, and a lot of people say stews, and I don't know how Americans make it. They have thinner stews. In Australia, we end up quite a thick stew. I know the wife doesn't like a lot of juice, if you like.
No.
So our stews are quite thick, and it's done by reduction. It's not done by not putting a lot of water in. But when I cook my stews, I only just cover the veggies and the meat with just enough water, because there's plenty of liquid in vegetables. But I love thick stews. And of course, if you're going to make dumplings, you don't have thick stews, because the dumplings will soak up all the excess.
Dream says you're not allowed to shave your beard.
I'll only shave half, and only when you're on, I'll turn to the profile where my beard is. It might be time for it to come off. I'm not sure.
Why? You don't usually take it off in winter.
Oh, I never know. We haven't really had much of a winter other than the last couple of days.
It's been bloody freezing.
I realised the other day, I haven't got a pair of jeans anymore.
Yeah, there's one or two in the cupboard.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have a look.
Why are you worried about jeans?
Oh, because it's cold. Stream says, I didn't know my grandfather made it with ox tongue and kidney. Actually, one of the flavours that you would remember your grandfather would have definitely used, you just soap up nice and clean there, Tony, would have been oxtail. That was very common as a kid. It adds a rich, deep flavour along with the marrowbone that comes out of it. Probably 3 or 4 bits of oxtail. Actually, I've had just an oxtail stew. Definitely wash and dry behind your ears. He's doing a video now. He's in the bathroom with that song in the background. If you think I'm sexy and you want my... And he'll be putting it up on YouTube shortly. Oxtail soup is rich.
My mum used to make
And I love it. But a lot of people think, ooh, oxtail, it's a bit like kangaroo tail, actually.
Yeah.
It's an acquired taste to have just oxtail. I'll often buy a couple of chunks of oxtail and make it with my beef stew.
I used to eat it. Not anymore.
But we like lamb stew too.
Used to eat it.
Sitting outside with shirts and shorts. I used to live in Darwin for a couple of years. I know what that's like. Mind you, when you're in the tropics and it gets a bit cooler, it's the wind. You start thinking, oh, geez, it's cold. And you look at the temperature, it says 21 or 22. It's not that cold, but if you live in the tropics or subtropics, it feels cold. You've been picking blackberries. They're a vermin plant here. A noxious weed, believe it or not. Though they grow, don't get me wrong, Victoria has major problems. It takes over paddocks and lots of problems with animals with it. Yeah, I remember I was making a mulberry pie. I was thinking about making a mulberry pie one day. My kids, I was picking them and I was handing them down in the basket. And I thought, geez, I must have a couple of kilos by now. To come down, there's about a small handful left. And both kids looking at me sheepish with like blood stains all over their face. And I'm thinking, yeah, they were good, were they? So I said, just eat the rest, there's no point. It's be the smallest pie on the planet. With any type of berry, I'll mix it in with a bit of apple. I'm sure you do too, Scarlett. Give it a bit of body. Or pears. Yeah, in Brisbane, we're waiting for winter. I heard you'd be getting quite cold weather up there. I know you had a cold push there the other day. Strange, Brisbane, or Queensland, because Brisbane's the capital, but the Gold Coast is really the capital, if you know what I mean. Been there many times. Kids do that when they cleaned out 1 million blue crabs. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, mangoes are good. Mangoes are pretty tolerant too. They'll take a little bit of cold weather, not a lot, but they'll take a bit. They do well in Perth here. Oh, we grow tons of it in Western Australia. A lot of it gets exported to the east. And in Darwin, in the Territory, they grow a lot of mangoes as well. Oh yeah, macadamia. They're sort of unique to Australia. I don't know how many Americans would have tried macadamia nuts. If you sent them one in the shell, Dram, they'd probably look at you and say, what's this, a dinosaur egg? They wouldn't have any idea how to crack it open because it's a bit of a task. But they're yum. Probably my favourite is macadamia and pistachio ice cream. Now that is a yum ice cream. I knew what you meant. Even though it said macadamia, I know you meant macadamia. Macadamia. Chocolate covered macadamia. Yeah, the thing is, when they're fresh, they're at the best. Yeah, we used to use, on a farm, they had a, sounds terrible, but tailing machine. And it had a fairly blunt bit on the top and a sharp bit on the bottom, obviously to tail the lambs. But that worked out good as a macadamia cracker. Of course, if you misjudged where you were pulling down on the bar, the macadamia became a missile. It was likely to take someone out. Yeah, I found the easiest way is just get a ring spanner and a hammer and just time it well. But they're nice. They grow well here too, macadamias. Again, they're a bit tolerant of the cooler weather. When I was a kid, we used to have I think I told the story before, we used to have like a food path that was planted for centuries. And we come across this hazelnut tree a little bit off the road. We just spent all day cracking open hazelnuts. They were just unbelievably good. Yeah, it's training. We're back open, everything's open here, Dream. Except our borders. Like Queenslanders, we say, nah, we're all right, thanks. No intention to open our borders till we're ready. Yeah, we're blessed in this country for food, there's no question. We've got plenty of it.
I don't think I've ever had a hickory nut.
Oh, it's from the hickory tree.
What's it taste like, Scarlett? What's it look like?
I think of memory it's a little bit cross between like a hazelnut and an almond. I think I've had them. We'll have to go into quarantine, I guess, Scarlett. Yep, 300,000 people in Victoria are under their second lockdown. Isn't it funny? There's 1,000 police, Dream, making sure that people don't come out of those suburbs. And we've had, like, in Victoria, 50, 60 cases a day. In the US, there's 50,000, and no one's in lockdown. Australia's taking it pretty serious. In other words, 300,000 people. No, it's not the army. No, it's just police.
Now, what the army were doing was just doing extra backup for testing.
Yeah, that's where they went
They
down.
didn't, they've set up stations to test people. That's what the army's there for.
But you can't move out of those suburbs without going through police. So I think that's the difference between the US and Australia is that when we had, and we call it a big outbreak of 50 people a day getting the virus, and they lock everyone down. That's it. I think it's sad, but it's also an evil necessity. If it was us, I'd be saying, fair enough, lock down.
So you just crack them and eat them, Scarlett. I said they look like a small walnut.
I think I've tasted them once before. They're like a teardrop shape, and they're, I think they're a cross between an almond and a hazelnut flavour.
She said they're like a small walnut. Oh yeah, she didn't say. And the taste, Scarlett?
I think I actually had them in Vietnam on a nut platter, and I asked, I think they said they were hickory. Yeah, it's not, well, it's like macadamias. Macadamia's got a funny, it's not a full flavour, macadamia's got a flavour.
It's macadamia like cashews to me are a rich nut. I eat so many.
Well, they're very creamy and there's a lot of natural oil in macadamia. But yeah, so over 250,000 people are now restricted to their own homes and suburb. And there are 1,000 policemen making sure they don't dip in and dip out.
Oh yeah. Carrot and walnut cake, yum.
Yeah, it's the same in WA. From up and down our state, which is big, a lot bigger than Queensland, and we have massive growing areas. It's a food basin. It's just unbelievable. Up in the Kununurra area, they produce amazing amounts of foods. And of course, southwest, grains, down south, all the fruit trees, apple tree, berries, you name it. If we had to not deal with the rest of the world at all, we'd be okay. I love carrot cakes. One of my favourite cakes, actually. A bit of cheese frosting on top, that doesn't hurt. I like it moist. Some people make it a bit too dry. Like banana cake. Just more, we got tons of bananas in our state, just like Queensland. Yep, Boston cream pie, I've had one of them. We don't eat a lot of cake, do we, really? I suppose we get some every now and then.
Mainly that carrot cake.
Yeah. I make the odd cake.
My favourite cake really is cheesecake. And I had the best recipes for it, but I can't find my book.
Oh, just wing it. Just get up there and do it.
No,
Why?
because
Banana cream pie. Coconut cream pie. Actually, we had our very first key lime pie.
I did like it.
You liked it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. The one we had I thought was a bit bland.
Well, probably because it was not a homemade one. We should
Yeah.
try and make one.
You should.
We.
Don't do the wee business because that always means me.
No.
Let's do the
don't.
Mystic Angel key lime pie. Scarlett, it's your job to send a recipe to Mystic Angel's email address on how to make a key lime pie. Yes.
What's a Boston cream pie?
I just found like 300 pages of my grandmother. Oh, brilliant.
It had,
That's brilliant, Dream.
I think,
I tell you what would be nice.
whipped cream, Scarlett.
If you could, and if you got a computer, you could do this. You could make a little booklet up of your grandmother's recipes. In respect of, you could hand that down to your family. I don't know whether you'd publish it, but hand it as gifts to the members of the family.
That's what I did. I had a recipe book I hand wrote, and my mum wrote recipes in it, and I stuck them in, and then I copied and made up for the girls a book each. To this day, I don't know where mine's gone, and it's very depressing. I can't find mine because it's got handwritten recipes from Mum, and of course she's gone now.
I know Dream would know the next book I'm going to talk about, and I've always loved them because they're all down to earth basic, and that is the Country Women's Association cookbooks. I still think they do it. I'm not sure, do they?
I've got a common sense cookery book, which is the old New South Wales cookbooks, which is along the same lines.
Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good, Dream. You're going to do that. I think it's a great idea to hand on to the family because they did things differently and they used fat and butter. Do you know what I mean? And suet and things that people today would go, oh, that sounds horrible. If they tasted it, they go, oh, that tasted good.
Boston cream is a yellow cake, cream or custard. Oh, that sounds nice. I'll need that recipe, Scarlett, please.
In your spare time, Scarlett, just Google CWA cookbook. It's the Country Women's Association. And in America, they'd have the same thing, I'm sure. But this goes back a long, long time. It's just true Aussie recipes.
The key lime pie we had cream, didn't it? It wasn't meringue. Because
No, it was sort of set. It wasn't.
Because I see
Yeah.
this more the meringue person than me. I'm sure it was cream.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty. He's back.
Show us your ears, Tony.
Must
Your
have had a
phone.
good cleanse.
Tony, turn around, show us the
Video
phone.
of the wife hosing him down at the back with him with his hands on his head saying, no more, no more.
Show us behind your ears. Did you wash in between your toes?
We deliberately did not build a bath in the house. I've never liked baths. A, because I'm too bloody tall.
We'd need
And-
a massive one for you.
Yeah, I call it a swimming pool.
But the other thing is, I mean, I grew up, there was a bath in our house, but we only had a bath, this sounds strange, a bath when it rained because we had tank water.
Yep, could afford to
So-
use extra water.
That wasn't often. So a bath to me is nice. Don't get me wrong, we like relaxing in a bath, but I just feel it's wasting so much water. That's probably why I was decided not to get a pool.
I don't know much like. I either got to lie down with my head on the edge and my knees up in the air, or I've got to stretch my legs out and half my body's out of the bath. It's like, it's not working.
No.
And that's even in a big bath. But in the UK, they have a weird thing in the UK. They like having a bath with a shower across the top, which is normal, don't get me wrong. But they're so damn skinny.
Yeah, actually,
They were skinny
They-
baths.
some of them were long that you would have been alright. Actually, that one was close, but it wasn't like wide enough.
Bar shower sounds like a good idea. We've just got big showers. I love them. Plenty of room in there.
Eh?
In our showers, plenty of room.
Yeah, like I said, when you're younger, I miss having a bathtub, but then I really doesn't bother me we didn't put one in because if Seeds couldn't get out of it, how am I supposed to lift him out?
Yes, that would have been an issue.
Yeah.
I remember I had 3 2,000-gallon rainwater tanks on the property, and we had an old bath that I was going to use. I had horses at the time. I thought, oh, I'll use that as a trough. And I thought, nah, I built a fire pit underneath it. So every time we had an overflow, that's where the pipe went, the overflow pipe went into the bath. So when it was a heavy night, and it usually comes in summer with the rain, big rains, so I would light a fire. You just had to time it so your ass didn't get burnt, but the water was warm enough to get in. Got to be careful in baths as you get older. The joints, the knees, the muscles don't stretch as much, and you could slip and tear something. You could slip or hit something. Our shower, if you followed the build, the tiles on the floor are non-skid. Can't slip on them at all. That was deliberately done. Broccoli of mine are going really well. It's probably about another 5 or 6 days. They're probably 3.5, 4 inches across. I'd never leave them to get bigger than about 6 or 7 because they start opening up. So I like them nice and tight. Cut them all off, and then what I do is go, when all the heads have been taken off, I put a cross on the top of the stem. And I come back in about 10 days, and there's all these little broccolets, little extras. And then you pull the plant out. I think all the girls are talking to Tony. Shows your clean body, Tony.
Yeah. Shows behind your ears.
Yeah, they can be a little bit slippery sometimes, the acrylic pans. What was for dinner, Tony? My wife made fried potato, onion, sweet potato, made it all crispy, and then put a couple of 3 eggs through it. 2 eggs through it.
That's what my dad used to make. Onion.
Sort of a fry up. Roast
usually
chicken and veg.
You add garlic to it and
Sounds like a good deal.
bacon, but I didn't add that.
Roast chicken and veg. Did that come from Chicken Treat, or did you make it yourself? Did the wife roast and baste the chicken? Pizza. We don't mind pizza every now and then. I make a poor man's pizza. When I look in the fridge and I think, what have I got? Cheese, bit of bacon, some onion, other stuff, mushrooms maybe. So I'll get, can't be bothered making up a pizza base, so I'll get 6 slices of bread, put them in the oven pan, just not buttered at all, straight down, and then I get some tomato sauce, or dolmio sauce we call it in Australia, and with the back of the spoon I'll spread it all over the 6 bits of bread, add some cheese, a little bit of first, and bacon bits, whatever's going in the fridge. Chuck her in, put a bit of cheese on top, in the oven, and then when it's finished cooking, smells like a pizza, tastes like a pizza, but it's actually just bread with whatever leftovers are on top, hence the name, poor man's pizza. Tastes good, actually. You can make a lot out of a little. Like today's sleep was what was hand in the garden, bits and pieces. The wife picked up some shredded chicken, smoked chicken.
That's all there was. There was hardly anything in the deli section.
Yeah,
I was lucky to get a little bit of salami I got and a bit of ham I got.
yeah.
So I don't know how many
People are
sandwiches
starting to
it's
hoard
going
up
to
again,
make.
maybe. Do what?
I don't know how many sandwiches it's going to make up.
What, the chicken?
No, I'm talking about the ham and the salami.
There's all the chickens in the soup.
No, there wasn't for sandwiches anyway. All right.
All right, Tony, I know you got to go live on your own channel.
No,
Tony's showering channel.
TR time.
Oh, that's right. A little bit of TR. Da, 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 da. You could go Wednesday night with TR. Bullshafting night. You'll enjoy that. Just rock up in your cargo van. There you go, TR. There's been a bit of a spike in Victoria on toilet paper because they're all locked down, but not here.
No, the shelves are just like, there could be more when they're not bad. But yes, the toilet paper's been affected again, even though our state is fine.
Like nothing's closed in our state, Scarlett. We don't have the virus really at all. I think there are 4 or 5 people from overseas that came in recently, but they're all quarantined. Don't get a choice here. Like if Tony flew over here, he would have no choice. He'd have to go into a hotel for 2 weeks and stay there. There is no if or but, or can I come out a couple of days early? No. Then he'll have to be tested. Tested on day 3, and then you're tested on day 11. And if it's all good, on day 12, you can go out. Yep, and that's probably for her safety too, Scarlett. I'll be honest, we wouldn't put anyone in a nursing home if we couldn't help it in our family. And if they were, I'd be ripping them out so fast, they'd be home. Because it's the best place for them and it's safe. Some people don't have that opportunity. Some people don't have the finances if they need to get a nurse or someone to care for them, or if they can't physically care for them. I understand that, but if you can, that's what you do. I'm supposed to be putting a second coat of paint on tomorrow. I'm just not sure how I'm going to wake up with my shoulder. $5,000 a month rent, that's obviously all care though, I guess. Always sounds a lot, but 60 grand a year is not that bad if you're getting full medical, getting your meals, even though you've got your independent areas. Like most of those independent places have a couple of bedrooms, a bit of a yard, doctors on standby. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's a different thing than being in the older type nursing home where they put you in a room and say, might see you tomorrow. Because truth be known, if you're an old person in a standard old nursing home, surrounded by old people, it's not what you used to. You used to, as an old person, seeing young people coming in, hearing laughter, kids playing, someone's cooking something. But in a nursing home, you're just surrounded by old people. Yeah, I mean, if it used all your mother's resources until she left the planet, that's okay. It's their money. Because what is money? It's a better form of poverty. Good morning, VMAC. I keep on imagining now those lips with the teeth. The lips are actually red tulip chocolate lipstick.
That's There's me chocolate buddy. VMAC, tell us about your key lime pie.
You'll have to, I think Scarlett's sending your recipe.
Yeah, I'll get one from VMAC too, because it could be different, because we tried it because of VMAC, but I don't think you've actually told her that we actually tried one.
Yeah, we did, but it wasn't very good.
I liked
it. Was a
it.
commercial made one, by the way. So
Yeah, probably homemade will be better, but I did like it.
key lime pie. Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2, 3. Is and happy Canada Day on the 1st. Hope you had a great day.
Canada. What did I say?
Canada.
Is that what I said? Happy Canada Day. Key lime pie. Can you hear us now?
You had a great day. I'm a bit under the weather. A little bit of beach dancing, jumping around the fireplace, eating, a bit more drinking. Going to get something to eat? No, I'll have another drink. Wake up in the morning. Who stood on my head last night? I want to know who it was.
I think some chocolate won't fix.
Scarlett said she used pudding mix for her key lime. Dr. Eakers? Is that what it is? Is that how you say it? Eakers? Or was that supposed to be a D?
No, I think I've heard that name.
I like limes. It's a unique flavour. I like lemon, lime and bitters. That's nice. Drop. Non-alcoholic.
Like, is key lime pie British?
No, I don't think it's British. I think it was actually made very early on
Yeah.
in the US. I can't remember where.
No, maybe I'm thinking of Eton Mess is British.
Eton Mess is just broken down. Have basically with ice cream and crunchy bits in it.
From Florida.
From Florida, yeah. I thought it was the US. I think it's quite old, the recipe. It's the state dessert. Poor old Florida's having a hard time. A lot of people are under the misconception that everywhere in the north is okay now and all the problems down the... No, it's not a north and south thing. It's a rotation. It's going to go up and down in all different states. Yeah, terrible. Some of the things are... And we all know Florida's a retirement capital of the US.
Because of the weather.
So, feel sorry for a lot of those people. You buy my lambs from Mexico. They're the small ones, aren't they, VMAC? The little ones.
What's the name? I think it's New Zealand, or is it Tasmania? Become famous with the finger lime?
No, they're all through
lime?
tropical areas. Finger limes.
Yeah, but...
Long, skinny, lime flavoured.
Yeah, but they're not produced everywhere.
No, they're a bush tucker by nature.
Yeah, but there's Tasmania or New
Oh,
Zealand.
I don't know who's growing it commercially, but they are.
Commercially growing it.
Normal sized ones. If you go to Southeast Asia, you get these little ones, like, I don't know how, about as big as an eyeball would be the biggest one. But, oh my God, so delicious. And they grow them in Australia now. I like limes in marmalade.
Ew, no.
Lime marmalade is my favourite.
I don't like any marmalade. I don't like pith.
Can I have you?
I don't like rind.
Oh, you don't have to make marmalade with rind.
Well, it's not really marmalade without rind.
Well, no, that's not true. It's like mixed fruit, dried fruit. I don't like rinds in the mixed dried fruit.
I don't like that. Or glazed cherries in anything. It's not keen on sultanas in desserts, but I will eat
or bread and butter pudding with sultanas.
just the home brand fruit cake, because they only put sultanas in it. They don't put rind.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a big citrus growing where you are. So I do know you can grow melons in Canada. Like the plant adjusts itself. It doesn't, like here it could take 18 weeks VMAC from seed to melon, but I think in Canada it goes as low as 12 weeks. So they grow real fast and the plants have adapted to the climate. I mean, watermelon is our favourite, but I'd also like rock melon, or you guys in the north call it cantaloupe.
Honeydew.
Honeydew, the green one, yum. Yeah, melons grow well here. I'll be doing runners out of these pots we bought. I'll stick about 4 or 5 melons in one and let them overflow the pot, and then push the trails where they need to go, and then cut them off when they need to be cut off. And we'll get quite a lot of melons out of that. Yeah, honeydew, yum. You definitely wouldn't grow these in Canada, but pawpaw. And we have them here, but they're not as good as in Southeast Asia.
No, I'm not that keen on that.
They're absolutely
pawpaw.
delicious.
I do like, what's that one, little red seed, or little red, juicy, crunchy.
Pomegranate?
Yeah. I love pomegranate.
Catawba, not sure what that is. Species of cantaloupe.
Catawba.
We've got about 10 different species of cantaloupe.
Catawba.
Catawba. Someone wobbed my cat.
That's how I say it.
That's a melon.
I think Dream zoned out when she was listening to the footy being played.
Yeah,
She said
men in
before-
shorts.
Yeah. That sounds like something just in our yard. Scratchy.
Could be the chooks up against the fence.
Oh, they'd be in bed by now.
But it's good to grow some food in your own place if you can, like VMAC. Won't be growing oranges, limes, but can you grow lemons, VMAC?
Oh, that's a
Lemons can
citrus.
be very tolerant of cold weather here in Australia. I suppose they're not used to getting frozen.
Actually, there's a few lemon trees around the place that have got big fruits on them, I noticed, in people's yards.
Actually, Emma's lemon tree should be have heaps. Should you go and get some? We'll swap her
Swapper.
for some produce for lemons. You better be quick. Birds are fast.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to
See
toodle
you,
off as
Scarlett.
well, actually. Good to catch up with you. We don't do well here, but for us to accept it often. Yeah, I suppose you could grow them in a greenhouse. Maybe with a little bit extra heating
Okay,
during
Scarlett.
winter. All right, good people. Nice to catch up with yous. Hope you all have a good day and be safe. Be smart. You're all smart. I know that anyway, so it doesn't matter. And be careful. Till next time, bye-bye.